Well, here's a quick one before I go back to work. And this is apparently breaking news that the Department of Justice declares Seattle, Portland, and New York to be lawless anarchist zones, setting up federal arrest for Democrat mayors after the election. I would love to see that. There's about that time that got done. Sorry for the noise. I didn't get myself positioned before I started, but now I think I am. Okay, so as we reported 2 weeks ago, President Trump has a secret weapon against the left-wing insurrectionists and treasonous actors who are trying to destroy this country. Well, I got bitched out about not mentioning the 14th Amendment, but I made a video about it, so maybe you should just update yourself on what I'm uploading, and you might have an idea what I'm talking about. So, I mean, don't put words in my mouth and all that kind of crap. I don't want to put up with it. I mean, to be honest, I'm just going to remove your comment. Bye, you're gone. I'm going to even hide the user from my channel so you can scream all you want to and no one will ever hear you. No one. I can't block you, but I can remove you. Bye-bye. Okay? This is serious stuff, and we don't need to throw mud. We need to come together on this subject. Do you understand that loud and clear? It is that simple. This is your country. We cannot have infight while we are having terrorists running around in our streets and politicians who is freaking supporting these terrorists. Okay? United we stand, divided we fall. Got it? So, that weapon is 14th Amendment, which ambiguously states that the President of the United States must remove those from power who have engaged in granting aid and or comfort to insurrectionists who are waging war against this nation. Section 3 of the 14th Amendment openly states, no person shall be a senator or representative in Congress, or elector or president and vice president, or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States, under any state, who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress, or an officer of the United States, or a member of the state legislature, or an executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or had given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. Loud and clear. Going to jail, Kumo. You know that, right? Oh man, I can't wait till you go to jail. It couldn't be more clear. All those who aid in rebellion against the United States, whether civilian or military, must be removed from office. This includes Ocasio-Cortez, Mayor Wheeler, Mayor Durkan, Mayor de Blasio, even state governors like Inslee, Brown, and Cuomo. Arrest of left-wing mayors could begin shortly after the election. As we have reported over the last few days, the DOJ is gearing up for arrest left-wing collaborators shortly after the election, as Trump invokes the Insurrection Act and activate the U.S. military troops which are being positioned across the top 50 countries in America. Now, the DOJ has issued an announcement, don't worry, it's not COVID, that declares that the 3 U.S. cities to be jurisdiction permit violence and destruction of property. These 3 cities are Seattle, Portland, and New York City. So, here we have a publication of September 21st, which is today. As the DOJ explains, the U.S. Department of Justice today identified the following 3 jurisdictions that have permitted violence and destruction of property to persist and have refused to undertake reasonable measures to counteract criminal activities: New York, Portland, Oregon, and Seattle, Washington. Criteria for evaluation each city is below. Whether a jurisdiction forbids the police force to intervening to restore order amid widespread or sustained violence or destruction. whether a jurisdiction has withdrawn law enforcement protection from a geographical area or structure that law enforcement officers are lawfully entitled to access but have been officially prevented from accessing or permitted to access only in exceptional circumstances, except when law enforcement officers are briefly withheld as a tactical decision intended to resolve safely and expeditiously a specific and ongoing unlawful incident posing an imminent threat to the safety of individuals or law enforcement officers, whether a jurisdiction disempowers or defunds police departments, whether a jurisdiction unreasonably refuses to accept offers of law enforcement assistance from the federal government, or any other related factors the Attorney General deems appropriate. Well, you know, it came to this situation that in Portland, that people were calling 911 and the police could not move out. So in cases, life and death situation that has nothing to do with the riots, but it could be domestic violence, it could be someone who has nothing to do with the rioters, but someone who have a home, illegal invasion in a home, and someone's life is in danger, and they can just say, well, call back tomorrow. I mean, this is what I was saying yesterday. We are our own first responders here now. Apparently we are. It can take minutes before the police arrive to a serious situation. And with the situation we are in this country apparently now, we are our own first responders. Do whatever it takes. And in this case, shoot first, ask questions later. Because they're not there to say, hey, how are you doing? They're there to hurt you. That's obvious. And apparently we don't know which police force is going to come out in big numbers to protect you. You can't be sure of that anymore, apparently. That's freaking dangerous. That's serious dangerous. And they have sworn an oath to protect and to serve the community. And they're not doing it. They're not standing down from the orders of a bloody freaking mayor or flood senator or governor. They have an office to uphold. They have an oath to uphold, no matter what. They have to. They cannot be told to stand down. They have sworn an oath to protect and to serve, and therefore they have to do so. There is no excuse. No matter what is being said to them by a politician. They are to say to that politician, sorry, we cannot do that. You do not have orders over us. You have no authority over us on that matter. We are law enforcement. We are a separate entity from you. Our job is to protect and to serve our community. That's what the police should have done. And they would have gotten away with it easily. Fat luck that any governor would be able to prosecute these police officers and sentence them and take their badges from them. That would not have happened. That would actually make that governor shit his pants. Shit, I can't make them do what I want them to do. Well, it is clear from the announcement that the cities will soon be added to this list, most likely Chicago, Minneapolis, amongst others. Analysis. The Department of Justice is preparing to arrest Democrat mayors and charge them with sedition. Yeah, finally, sedition. That is lifetime in prison. Cuomo, de Blasio, blah, 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 blah. You are going away. The free key is going to be thrown away. You will never get out again. You better leave this country. Go to Greece and join forces with pedophile Tom Hanks. There's no extradition treaty there. You better leave now, because they're coming for you. I'm just saying, you're going to jail for life. And I wish they would take George Soros with them, too. Not to Greece, but I wish that the Department of Justice would take care of George Soros once and for all. Finish him off, because he is paying these insurrectionists directly. Okay? And then we have to have a very, very close look on Chinese assets in this country. No matter how small that business is. We need to look into them, because how the hell are military grade weapons from China getting in the hands of Black Lives Matter? Who is responsible for that? Someone is. Now we just have today a police officer in New York being arrested for being a spy, spying on Tibetans' activities in the United States. It's none of their bloody freaking business. So lock this bastard cop up for life. Don't ever let him out again. Teach them a lesson. This is America. Law and order. To invoke 14th Amendment powers are to arrest left-wing mayors, governors, judges, legislators who have taken part in illegal insurrection against the United States. This includes Representative Maxine Waters. Ooh, yeah, the cowboy girl. Nancy Pelosi. Oh, yeah, I would love that reptile going to prison. Jerry Nadler. Adam Schiff. Oh, man, he must be a son of freaking, what is his name? Charles Manson. Got these wild eyes, staring eyes, creepy eyes, just like Charles Manson. And literally thousands of state legislators and corrupt court officials who have taken part in a coordinated conspiracy to overthrow the United States of America. This is a coup d'etat, and they need to go away forever. I would, if I was president, I would make sure you never see the day of light again. You will have a prison cell with no window. No window. No sunlight. As we explained, no aggressive action would be taken against the insurrectionists until after the election, but immediately following the election, the radical left explodes into Operation Chaos and carries out organized, well-funded militant attacks on U.S. infrastructure. Lawmakers and the White House President Trump will officially likely declare an insurrection to be underway, and he will activate U.S. military resources across 50 cities, immediately taking down left-wing insurrectionist groups. Yeah. Empty your freaking clip on them. Enough of you, traitors. We also know this plan because A.G. Williams Barr has all but said in a widely circulated news item last week on the Wall Street Journal reported that A.G. Williams Barr told prosecutors to explore charging Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkan with sedition for allowing residents to set up a police-free zone in that city that summer. You remember the CHOP? What the hell is going on? They get their own little closed free zone to do whatever they want, shit on the street, piss on the street, bashing in windows, painting graffiti everywhere, and, just complete anarchy. Bye-bye, Jenny Durkan. I hope so. I hope you're going away for life. This is sedition. This is treason. In other words, the Department of Justice is actively encouraging federal prosecutors to build cases against treasonous public officials who are allowing this left-wing violence to take place. And today, the Department of Justice announcement named Seattle, Portland, New York is on the further establishment the fact that the political leaders of those cities are actively engaged in insurrection against the United States while violating their oaths of office. Even Cuomo was down plain in the yellow letters in front of Trump Tower, Black Lives Matter. He was part of that. So he's an insurrectionist right there. And he is also guilty of sedition. Lock him up forever. Don't ever let him out. No parole. Remember, the 14th Amendment now requires President Trump and the Department of Justice to arrest those individuals and remove them from power. Such arrest will likely need to be carried out by military police after the election, once the military fully deployed against left-wing cities to put down the violence and remove criminal insurrectionists like Durkin from public office. America cannot function if its cities and states are run by treasonous actors engaged in violent rebellion against the nation. To pass all this information, remember that America is already in a civil war with radical anti-American forces waging kinetic warfare against law enforcement. Yeah? What is this shit? You walk up to a cop sitting and having his lunch, and then you shoot them in the face. Yeah, I saw the footage on TV. What a coward. And it's not all police officers that are bad. I mean, there's a rotten apple everywhere where you go. Even, it doesn't matter where you are on this planet, there will always be someone who is a rotten apple. Always. And you got it all wrong. There are really good police officers out there, really good, that really are engaged in what they're doing. And then unfortunately, we are having some police officers that is high on power and think they can get away with whatever they want to. And these police officers, we need to have them kicked off the force. And if it's grim enough, they need to be prosecuted and sentenced and put in jail for violating their oath to protect and to serve. Just like anybody else. Don't give anybody the right to just say, oh, all police officers are bad, so we just need to go up while they're sitting and keeping an eye on everything and shoot them in their heads. Because that's the right thing to do. Down with police, death to the police. You out of your bloody mind. What if you need help and you started screaming for police? We have seen that so many times on Facebook posts and Twitter posts that all of a sudden there is a commotion and these protesters that is so-called Black Lives Matters is being charged by some other group, and then they're screaming, call the police, call the police. You see it? You see this oxymoron? I hope you can. If not, go hang yourself. You must be too dumb for this world. Too dumb. Seriously, we don't need you. We don't need stupid people. We need people to use their brain. Use your brain. It's the most powerful, most exotic machine ever invented by our Creator. We are perfect. Why are you using it for this two brain cell policy? This IQ of 20. Apparently. Well, the recent deaths of child murder advocate Ruth Bader Ginsburg will now escalate the bloodthirsty left even more, turning them into radicalized, raging lunatics who are committed to mass destruction and arson and chaos. The only sure way to defend America from this violent uprising is to invoke the Insurrection Act and cite the 14th Amendment, temporarily putting troops on the streets of United States or U.S. cities to take down insurrectionist forces and remove all treasonous seditious actors from power. This would involve mass arrest and potentially thousands of treasonous actors, many named above, who have actively conspired to overthrow the United States of America. Some of these treasonous actors are sitting U.S. Senators Feinstein or members of the House, Nadler, AOC, etc. Others are members of the fake news media, Stephanopoulos, and run large tech platforms. Dorsey, Zuckerberg, yeah, look him up, this butterface. Pikai, etc. I think this guy is the CEO of Google, All of them are guilty of treason against America and must be arrested, prosecuted, and imprisoned for their coordinated crimes against this nation. I don't understand why Google has not been shut down long time ago. Seriously, shut them down. Forever. Don't ever let them back again. Just close them. End of you. Oh, it might hurt YouTube. No, it won't. YouTube was doing bloody freaking good before Google got in there. Man, we were doing good. That was the days. Can you remember that? And it doesn't even get to corruption at the FBI and Obama's DOJ, where people like James Comey, Eric Holder, John Brennan, Loretta Lynch, and even Obama himself should also face charges for treason. Oh yeah, I would love to see him hang. Bloody bastard. He's behind this. Do you understand that? He started Black Lives Matter with George Soros. He's behind that group. So he's the head man. Lock him up. Violent left-wing rioters will soon be designated enemy combatants or domestic terrorists. Wonderful. That gives us the right to lock and load and take them on. At the same time, tens of thousands of deranged, hate-filled left-wing rioters who are openly celebrating mass destruction, chaos, and violent attack against innocent people must be engaged with force. Yeah, citizens of the United States, I hereby deputize you. Get ready. By federal or military forces, that's not enough. In declaring the existence of an insurrection against the United States, President Trump is simultaneously declaring that all who engage in acts of insurrection are enemy combatants, domestic enemies who can legally be shot on sight by or defensive forces such as activated military units. That goes for you too. That's where Second Amendment come in. Most likely, this is exactly what's going to take place to end the destructive left. The insane, deranged, lawless, raging mobs of the left are now beyond human and have no rationality remaining in their twisted brains. They don't have a brain, Mike. Sorry, they don't. They are no longer functioning as human beings. No, that's for sure. They're zombies. Instead, they are programmed biological robots who have been indoctrinated with media-inspired hatred and big tech, meaning Google, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, social engineering to function as agents of destruction against America. They cannot be reasoned with or reformed. They will need to be permanently removed from society of any American is to ever live in peace again, under a system of civility and law. That's exactly what I've been saying all along. Put an end to them, and we need to put an end to them. We can't rely on outside forces at all the time. They're in your city, and the police is not there, the military is not there. You do it. Technically, once Trump declares an active insurrection is underway, any American citizen can legally engage in any enemy combatant who threatens. Did you see that? Did you see that? Just what I've been saying all along. For weeks I've been saying this to you. Technically, once Trump declares an active insurrection is underway, any American citizen can legally engage in any enemy combatant who threatens this nation, as I have been preaching again and again and again to you. You have the right to do so under the Second Amendment. Does it now get into your bloody heads why our Second Amendment is so freaking vital for the existence of this nation? Because we have from the birth of this nation had inside enemies of this nation. To name a few, Washington and Albert Pike. Openly. Jefferson no better. Oh, they are our founding fathers. I know that. But if you go back and check who they were Freemasons. And I can assure you there's nothing good coming out of Freemasonry. They don't believe in God Almighty. They believe that God Almighty is the evil one and Lucifer is the light bearer and he's the good guy. No. So, can legally engage any enemy combatant who threatens this nation, although we have repeatedly advised American civilians to allow the military forces, National Guard forces, and patriotic law enforcement to carry out this task. Yeah, I mean, if they are in the neighborhood, I'm just going to stand back. Absolutely, I ain't going to do anything. And I'm not going to go out and seek. That's not my job. But if I see them come down the street, then it's my job to do something. Because I know why they're here. I know what they intend to do. And then it might just be 2 minutes too late to call anybody. Hey, they're here. Okay, we're on our way. Half an hour, they come in large forces and the town is on fire. You see what I mean? This is exactly what I've been saying all along there. That is the right you have. Second Amendment gives you that right. Just make sure it's the right foe. Friendly fire is not a good deal. That will land you in jail. Increasingly, the coming battles on the streets of America look to be left-wing domestic terrorism versus activated U.S. military and National Guard forces, although there is a possibility that some Guard units in Democrat-run states like Washington and California may join the treason, resulting in escalated military action that engages treasonous Guard units with extreme force. Under this scenario, we could literally see tanks, artillery, gunships, and other air support operations carried out in or near U.S. cities. I don't hope it comes to that. When you start hearing 150 millimeter artillery shells going off near your home, you know the Civil War is on. I can assure you, you're going to hear that. It don't matter if you've got airport earmuffs on, you're going to hear that and you're going to feel it in the ground. You might even feel the shockwave. That is a bloody big grenade or shell. Huge. I know how an 80 millimeter feels in the ground and the shockwave from it. I used to shoot Carl Gustav when I was in the military. That's an 80 millimeter anti-tank shell. It shoots light grenades too, and something called brisant. It contains 800 steel bullets, and then you preset by laser measuring out to enemy lines how far they are, and then you set a timer on this shell, and as soon as it goes off, the time starts to count down, and as soon as this shell is right above where they are, it's going to explode 800 steel balls down on them. So that means if anybody is in a trench, they're not safe. They're dead. And I can assure you there's a lot of power in an 80 millimeter alone. At 155, it's almost twice the size. Are you kidding me? Oh. That's a freaking shell. Huge. It's not a firework. No. That is sure destruction. Support our domestic troops and prepare for extreme disruption in everything. During all this, the American people will experience severe disruptions in food, electricity, fuel, medical supplies, water supplies, and other basic necessities. I am glad that I am one of those that driving an 18-wheeler and supporting the function and the infrastructure of this country. That makes me proud. I'm there for you. My advice to all Americans is thusly, support local troops and pro-American militia units anytime. The militia units in particular have a great need for food, ammunition, tactical gear, firearms, and other supplies. Donate what you can, but maintain enough for your own survival and protection. I agree to that. Commend our president for having the courage to call out the enemies of America while invoking the power necessary to eliminate them. It is time to take our nation back from lunatic, lawless leftists who only seek to destroy it. Their tyranny and sedition must be ended. Okay, let me let you in on something. In order to be a communist, you need to be a psychopath. Okay? In order to be like Bill Gates, you have to be a psychopath. In order to be a George Soros, you have to be a psychopath. Kissinger, a psychopath, and Obama, a psychopath. Why am I saying that? Because they have an agenda which leads to tyranny if they get their way with it. And they are going to do it with any means necessary, as we are seeing in American streets today. Look at China. Look what they have done. They just celebrated their 70th anniversary for communism. And they are ruthless. You have to be a psychopath to be a communist. George Soros is a communist. Hillary Clinton is a communist. Henry Kissinger is a communist. Obama is a communist. Pelosi is a communist. Adam Schiff is a communist. Cuomo is a communist. They all are communists. And they are working with China. They have done it for decades. They're doing exactly the same thing as the Chinese did, gaining a communist tyrannical regime. That's how he has gone everywhere where communism sprang up. Rothschilds are communists. They directly funded Lenin and Trotsky to start the October Revolution and overthrow the Tsar of Russia, who loved his people, was taking care of his people if they were in need. And after they took over with their bloody coup, they went about killing millions. When Stalin came along, he killed 60 million. That's psychopaths for you. Seriously. Call for arrest of seditious mayors, governors, corporate CEOs, and members of Congress. The communists. Raise your voice to demand that all who are carrying out acts of treason against this nation be arrested, charged, and prosecuted. Stock up on everything you can in advance of Election Day. Stockpile food, water supplies, water filters, ammunition, medical supplies, communications gear, batteries, and anything else you might need. Download my free 9-hour audiobook. I already did that. Don't worry about it. The Global Reset Survival Guide at Global News, or Global Reset News. .news. Yeah, go do that. Watch my tactical preparedness videos on firearms and more at prepwithmike.com. Join Bryfian Social and stay plugged in and benefit from live tweets of the day's event from pro-American, pro-Christian, pro-liberty point of view. My channel there is The Health Ranger. And there are thousands of other channels offering excellent coverage. This is exactly what we need to do. Vote for Trump in the upcoming election and vote for GOP members of Congress in every race. We must maintain control of the U.S. Senate and White House in order for Trump to take this decisive action against the treasonous left and save America from destruction. I'm not saying Trump is a good guy, but we freaking need to do something now. We cannot let communists take over. You got no idea what that entails, because you never tried it. But you can ask Cambodian, Vietnamese, Chinese, even a Russian refugee who's living in this country, how was it to live in that country, not knowing if you're going to die that day in the hands of a psychopath, tortured to death, because they don't just come and shoot you. No, they drag you away and beat the shit out of you before they kill you. Because they hope they can get some information out of you, because they think everybody is against them. Because they're paranoid. Hola. The lawless left is pursuing a detailed conspiracy to cheat and try steal the election. And this plan involves flooding the streets with left-wing violent actors who will no doubt attempt to assassinate GOP senators and the president himself. What did I just learn here the other day? That some mysterious letter was sent to Donald Trump and it contained poison. She was arrested, thankfully, but this is what we come to. Stuff like that. I don't care. You don't do that. He's the sitting president, and we have to respect that, whether we agree or not with what he's doing. Then we can vote him out on the next election, if that's the case. But trying to kill him? That's not okay. I don't care. That's not okay. We have to respect the office. We have to. Stay safe. In other words, and get prepared. You are about to witness the most tumultuous chapter in American history since the Civil War. And before this is all over, we will see military operation in multiple US cities. I freaking hope we don't. I really, really pray to we don't. A necessary step to defeating the anti-American domestic enemies that hope to destroy this nation. Remember when I said earlier this year that we will soon be in a situation where you would beg for martial law? Now it suddenly makes sense, doesn't it? You will be eternally thankful when the U.S. troops arrive in your city and shoot the insurrectionists dead, restoring the rule of law and halting a mass arson and chaos. For a while, we are going to be living under temporary military rule, but it now remains the only way to defeat the enemies of America and restore pro-Constitution civilian rule in the months ahead. That's it. But remember what I said up here. There. Right here. This you need to remember. This needs to be embedded in the back of your head. You need to know this. You need to understand what that means. Because together we can finish it. Together we stand. Divided we fall. I don't want to say any more to that. But remember that. That is going to be reality. Over and out.